What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily Astrology Horoscope for Friday, May 27th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Well, thanks for being here with me. I appreciate you all. And gosh, Thursday was wild for me. So, well, we'll see how Friday goes. Let's look at the horoscope and break that one down. Hope everybody's doing well. Hopefully the weekend's off well. We do have the moon that's coming into its exalted position of Taurus. It's leaving Venus behind. Venus is on its final day in Aries, where it's at detriment, and the moon is going dark. Dark moon in Taurus after a solar eclipse in Taurus, a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So a lot of that eclipse energy is finally at this goodbye. It's finally leaving. So it's kind of crazy to look at the things in our life that are really meant to be a part of the next slide, what's not meant to be a part of the next slide, finding the best things in life, but also there's like a deep attachment, and especially with Venus coming off the square to Pluto and the moon coming off the square to Pluto, there's so many things that we're overly identified with or overly attached to in life, and having to learn how with Saturn really starting to station here in Aquarius that we have to disconnect from things in life, or we have to fully connect to things in life. But this is where we have to get back to our value system of life here right now, and really look at like what is showing up with value and what is not showing up with value. And I think, being honest about that, the things that have not been showing up with value, those are much easier to let go. The things that have been showing up with value, I think that's also a point where we're at like, well, do I really have to let go of something that's been good in my life? Maybe not, and maybe we're over-identifying even with the good things in life. But I still think that with the North Node in Taurus, like there's really amazing things you're supposed to go after and attach to in life. So it's definitely like our own mental, especially with a Sun in Gemini and a Mercury that's about to station, and it's trine Pluto still, and it's going to sit on Algol at 26 degrees, and dispositing that Sun in Gemini, like, we're mentally we're in a very weird place, and having to, look at facts and having to have conversations and have deep conversations and conversations about things we really want in life. And with Venus there finishing in Aries, like who we really want in our life, making sure that, you have to kind of put yourself first, with all this Aries energy, and even Jupiter and Mars are getting very close to their conjunction, which will be this weekend. So, you're either really going into this big story that is right for you, or, you're kind of talking yourself out of a great story in life. It's very interesting, the different perspectives we can be at in our lives right now, searching for this great quest of value and this great quest of identity and this great chapter in our story. But it's like, it can feel like a story where a page got ripped out in some way. And then it's like, oh wow, do I just skip this page and go on to the next? Like it's not there, or part of it's there. And I think that, some of it too is just taking the information that you do have and being honest about, is it valuable in your life? Is it making your life better? Then maybe it's worth, holding on to. And if it's not, then being very honest about that and being like, okay, I don't need this page. I think I got the information necessary that I can go to the next and fill in the blanks. Because it is really about like writing in even your own part of your story here, and writing in, this great adventure in your life that we're all on, that's so unpredictable, that's, so full of change. And even, the semi-square with Mars and Uranus, that's finally finishing up. So we're also seeing where a lot of changes are getting, spliced in or spliced out. That's where we're at with this dark moon phase. And I think the moon in Taurus does help us out a lot, giving us the stability to take care of ourselves, to see the value in ourselves, especially with the Aries energy. But we have to understand that too with Gemini season and the sun, the lone ranger here in Gemini, out in front of everything else. It's hard because we want to let our mental and our mind be the leading factor right now, but Mercury's retrograde and starting to square Saturn, and it's going to station square Saturn, and Saturn's getting ready to go direct. So you can just feel like there's a lot of weird mental blocks up, or trying to have this weird understanding all pieced together, and it's not there, but your heart actually knows what the truth is and what makes sense and how to communicate, and getting back to what that looks like in your life and in your environment. So I think it's a big day, especially with Venus at the final degree of Aries. It's very edgy for relationships, and coming off that square to Pluto retrograde. For the last time, we'll see Venus and Aries square Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So, a lot of cuts, a lot of deletes, but there's a lot of additions too. And looking at the truth of what needs to go so that something exciting can come in, or also paying attention to what is exciting, and going deeper into what's exciting, because you really do want to identify with it, and it does bring value to your life, and it does make things better. And the moon, it's pretty void off course here as it's dark. It's not going to meet with Uranus, and it's not going to make any major aspects to any planets today either. So very strange with the moon being dark and void. It can almost feel like we're in a void, or we're trying to fill a void in our life right now. So we have to be, careful about what the truth is, and be careful in our environments and with value in life. And I think really feel into what the heart's telling you is the truth, and don't get too caught up in your mind, because you can definitely, with the sun being the only energy in Gemini and Mercury retrograde and really starting to slow down, we can play some pretty nasty, kind of almost dark tricks, especially with Mercury getting closer to Algol, where demons kind of slipping into your mind right now and kind of making you go into dark places when is it really that dark? Or, some of those questions can come up, because Mars Jupiter is definitely trying to amplify, the beneficial things in life and what's best for yourself. And it's also a little over cocky, a little pompous at times. So we can be a little, I don't know. Also, Eros is at 3 degrees, sextiling Jupiter and Mars. So, things have to be exciting, and they have to be fresh and youthful, and, it's got to be like the good kind of trick in your life right now, and trying to find how to open those doors and close the ones that you really just need to step up and disconnect from with this Saturn in Aquarius. And, tomorrow's going to be pretty intense with the moon crossing over Uranus, the north node, and square Saturn. So, today's more of a personal day to really get in touch with your heart, get in touch with your environment and where you want things to go and where it looks like things are going, without playing some really weird mental games with yourself, because we can trick ourselves into thinking the story that we're writing is not the right one, or completely off the path, or we can also trick ourselves into thinking that the story we are writing is the right one when it's really off the path. Really, your heart knows the truth. Your soul knows the truth. You know what's of your deepest integrity. You have to know who you are, and you have to respond to life, within your own independent nature to make calls, but not so much mental. Mental is going to get you feeling completely stuck. And that's hard, because, it's a time where conversations are important, and getting, things out there in the open and uncovered in life. And we can almost want to avoid conversation or avoid things in our life because we've already tricked ourselves into thinking of the worst possible scenario when we don't actually have the fact. So it's get to the fact from your heart, not your mind, if that makes sense. Sending you all my best, of course. Itchy nose. Ten of Swords in reverse. Well, I think this is definitely a time to realize what's actually scary in life, what's actually some kind of mental block that gets you in a weird mental tie-up and brings up anxieties in life, and disperse that, transmute that, get out of your head and get to the truth, get to the root of what is like causing these big mental issues in our life today, and you know, shine a light on those so that we can get out of them. It's like, oh, it's actually not so bad. We can turn little things with this Mercury square Saturn and trine Pluto and with Algol and getting ready to station direct here soon and in Gemini season. Like, we can really mentally go in a really bad place by not, seeing the truth of these aspects in our life that we're probably over-analyzing and making a crazy big deal out of, that are not so much of a big deal, but then also being honest if they are a big deal and they need to be not so much overthought about, but defined. Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's like we don't want to express our emotion. You can feel like we don't want to put the truth out there. So it's like, I don't know. It's almost like keeping deeper secrets because we don't want to be vulnerable enough to express what we really feel we need to feel better in life or to get out of anxious positions. But we also have to self-nurture ourselves and, kind of just be youthful. Like it's a very kid energy with the Page of Cups, of course. And, kids don't have any like filter. Like, they'll just say what they're feeling. They don't really think about it. And he's got his brain in a bucket. So we need to kind of reverse. It's like, okay, take the brain out, literally put it in a bucket, and just be vulnerable with your emotions so you can get the truth out instead of the mind like. And we got the Knight of Coins in reverse. So it kind of can feel like a car wreck right now, can it? Like, there's parts of life that just feel like it's wrecking. And I don't know. It's like, do you have insurance? Is there something better out there after things wreck? It can feel like we want to be moving really fast too, and then it's also just like things are kind of hitting the brakes, especially in regard to our values and in regard to the things that make us feel good in life, or what we're trying to create or manifest. This Mercury square Saturn, with Mercury getting ready to station direct and Saturn stationing to go retrograde, is going to feel really hard. I was talking with David about it the other day, and it's like, gosh, Mercury getting ready to go direct, and we're so ready to move forward mentally again and have all these understandings, but Saturn's there squaring it and about to go retrograde, and it's like, you should have been going forward the whole time. So we're really feeling like a car wreck is happening if we're stopping our momentum for no reason, or if we're, not pursuing, or we haven't been pursuing what we really wanted, and now we feel like we can, and now there's going to be more blocks that come up. So it's definitely, I think, realizing too that like it doesn't have to be a car crash in life either. Like you just have to find something that you really want to move forward in, and what's pushing you right now to achieve, and what has already shown up that is awesome, and to stop, running away from good things and back into bad things, or get out of bad things and start running into good things. It's not so bad. I'm going to pull one more card. Another reversal. It's the Four of Coins in reverse. Yeah. Just, don't hoard the bad stuff. Hoard the good stuff. But it's not about being greedy too, or we can definitely be a little stingy with how we're feeling or with what we have. gotta just, it's just knowing, I think, today within your heart, not so much your mind, what you really want to hold on to and what you don't, and making calls to move forward with the stuff that you want and to let go of the stuff you don't want. Oh man, it's going to feel like things are really, really upside down. I think overall we want to shift perspective in a really positive way for ourselves and get out of like the situations we put our own selves in mentally, but we have to go through some depth and some deep identifying work about our own stories and our own emotions and what we really want to get the ball rolling into the weekend, which it's a crazy weekend building up to a full moon, a new moon on Monday in Gemini. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Friday. Sending you all my love, and I will see you tomorrow for the weekend report. Much love. Peace.